Hey everyone, Frosty from Mog Talk here. In this video we will cover day 2 of the North American Media Tour's Q&A. Questions were collected by attendees throughout the day, and a portion of them were answered at the end of the event. Director and producer Naoki Yoshida answered questions regarding exploration content, achievement points, PvP, and more. First question was, is it possible to have an official ranking system for achievement points added to either the game or the lodestone? Yoshida responded with, from a technical standpoint, it's possible, but if we were to implement such a system, I feel like people who are going to be top in that ranking will kind of stay on top. I believe the person who has achieved the highest achievement points, they've announced what they've accomplished over the years, and it's quite a lot they've been able to cover. It's worth looking into, so we are going to double check after we return to Japan and see how many points people have and see if there's some sort of race we can notice. If it's exciting content that we can show off, we might consider it. The second question was actually a question I submitted about PvP. Is there any chance we will see more PvP content that caters to pre-made light party groups for Crystalline Conflict, such as official hosted events outside of FanFest or systems implemented to encourage competitive light party play? Yoshida responded with, from a technical standpoint, it's not impossible, but then we are going to be making updates to PvP elements starting in patch 7.1. That includes the ranked matches as well, so we can bring more excitement. Plus, there are several ideas that come up from the development team as well in terms of how we look at PvP matching and team matching, and things like that. If you could stand by for just a bit more, we will be revealing more information later. As for the tournament and hosted events, we are still going to be doing China and Korea fan festivals, and they will be doing a Crystalline Conflict Championship. So once that is settled down, the development teams can go back and discuss ideas on how we want to do future tournaments. It is a very interesting concept, tournaments, and they're always fun, and now that we have done regional championships, it might be interesting to see those champions pit against each other to see how they would compete. The next question is an age-old question asked by players in terms of Glamour. Are there any plans to unlock job restrictions on gear sets? You guys do a great job of giving us a variety of gear styles, but not everything is always going to please everyone, and sometimes players might want to see gear for a different job's gear set that they prefer from any given content. Might the idea of unlocking non-AF gear even be considered at this stage in the game? Yoshida started with an "oh," which followed by a lot of people laughing in response, then answered, again, from a technical standpoint, it's not impossible to do. With that said, looking at the jobs that are available throughout the Final Fantasy series, it would feel awkward to see a black mage jumping into an instance dungeon with full plate armor. So I think we want to keep and maintain that image that we kind of depicted through these different jobs that are available in the series. And that said, Final Fantasy XIV has been around for over 10 plus years at this point now, and we understand that glamour and having different gear sets in terms of appearance, cosmetic elements, is a big part of players' playstyle. There have been in passing certain topics or conversations even in the development team saying, should we consider opening it up? When should we do that? Of course, it's still not set in stone, but we do want to look to having more freedom for our players. The next question is directed towards the PvE content coming in the next expansion. What does it mean to focus on MMO style content this expansion? Is it more experimental, or a return to things like Baja? Yoshida responded with, for this we are looking at the next 2 expansions and where we are looking at bolstering our multiplayer elements. One of the elements, and we made an announcement at Fan Festival for this, we've been looking to develop a large-scale field exploration type content, something along the veins of Eureka or the Bajan Southern Front. So once information becomes available for us to disclose, I'd like to take an opportunity in a future live letter to introduce the theme and some of the content that may be available in the area. It is a large-scale project that we are taking on here. Once we are able to tell you more about it, we will. This next question is in regards to Crafter and Gatherer content. The Ishgardian Restoration was very successful in terms of interest in bringing crafters and gatherers together for content. Will there be a Garlemald Restoration to do the same? In terms of the sort of lifestyle content as we call it, we've already mentioned this in our announcement, but throughout the patch 7.x series, we will be introducing the first cosmic exploration where our disciples of land and hand will be participating in large groups to accomplish certain goals. We are going out there in space and developing out in the fields. So with this, of course, you may recall the Ishgardian Restoration kind of led to changes in scenery, restoring the area, and that kind of led to opening a new housing area. We don't want something that is exactly the same, of course, but we do want to have content where all of our players can participate and we can see visually the changes you'll be making throughout the content. We are also simultaneously thinking about the players that may not be able to participate in real time, and have content that could simulate a similar experience if anyone misses out on this. The last question is in regards to the social aspects of the game, like the friend list. The update to the blacklist system was an unexpected and incredible change, but I also wanted to ask you if you had any intentions on updating other social aspects of the game, mainly the friend system in the future. Yoshida responded with, "First, thank you for making the comment on the blacklist system. So with these updates we are making to the blacklist function, we understand with the community that has grown to a size it has, there may be some issues that players may face with other players. So first we are trying to address the parts where players can have a means to protect themselves. We'll also now be looking into making necessary adjustments to the friends list as well. And that also goes for our mentor system as well. We do need to revisit and address any issues we are seeing there, so you can expect a significant update to that system soon as well." After that, Yoshida did have a question of his own for the attendees at the media tour. Yoshida then said, "I want to ask a question as well. This morning when we made our presentation, we asked to make sure you check out the title screen of Dawntrail to see if it's too bright. So I would like to gauge the feedback. Please answer honestly. Can I get a show of hands if you felt the screen was too bright?" At that point, actually only a third of the media answered yes. He then just followed up and asked how many felt it was way too bright, like unbearably too bright. Then Miztech, another content creator in the Final Fantasy XIV sphere, said, "Only at the beginning," and a lot of other people seemed to agree with that. She also stated that the menu was beautiful, and a lot of other people seemed to agree again. Yoshida then responded, "So it's the flash that's before the menu. The image was you have this foggy scene, and then you open up to this port, and this beautiful scenery is reflected there. But if it's too bright, maybe we can change the climate to be more overcast? Maybe that might help with the brightness. We really don't want to flash people every time they log on to Dawntrail." Okay, well that was all the questions from day 2 of the North American Media Tour. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, like and subscribe, and feel free to check out the rest of the Media Tour coverage in the playlist. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on the Q&A in the comments below, of course, or just come and visit me on the Mog Talk Twitch where you can talk to me live about it. Be good, keep cool, stay frosty.